The salt spray, a constant, biting companion, stung Detective Miles Corbin's eyes as he scanned the turbulent, gray expanse of the Pacific. The wind howled, a banshee's cry that seemed to echo the unease coiling in his gut. Below, the USS Vigilant, a destroyer tasked with the thankless job of patrolling these vast, indifferent waters, pitched and rolled. It was a ghost ship in a ghost war, chasing shadows across an ocean that held more secrets than the deepest trench. The year was 2019, and the world had collectively, if briefly, marveled at the audacity of Operation Underwood. The headlines had spoken of ingenuity, of a new frontier in illicit trade, submarines, handcrafted in the jungle, gliding beneath the waves, laden with more than a ton of cocaine. It was a story of technological adaptation in the oldest of professions, murder for profit. Corbin, a man whose weariness seemed etched into the lines around his eyes, felt a profound disconnect between the glossy news reports and the grim reality he now faced. Underwood, the operation that had captured global attention, was far from over. The arrests, the seized cargo, a staggering 1.2 metric tons of pure Colombian white, discovered in a fiberglass husk adrift near Papua New Guinea, were merely the epilogue to a much larger, more insidious narrative. This wasn't just about a single bust, it was about an entire ecosystem of corruption that stretched from the Andean peaks to the sun-drenched coasts of Australia, a shadowy network that thrived on exploiting every loophole, every blind spot. His mission was to trace the tendrils of this operation, to understand not just how it worked, but why it had become so terrifyingly effective. The problem wasn't simply the sheer volume of drugs or the daring of the smugglers. It was the sophistication. These weren't the desperate, leaky boats of yesteryear. These were precision instruments of clandestine transport. Crafted in Colombia, painted with thermal-resistant paint to confound radar, equipped with the latest GPS, they were designed to be invisible. They navigated the vast Pacific, a highway of deception, their final destination the unsuspecting shores of Australia's eastern seaboard. The cartel had mastered a dual strategy, a technological marvel at sea, and a deeply entrenched human network on land. Local businessmen, fishermen whose livelihoods were tied to the ocean's rhythm, even pilots of legitimate cargo ships, all were potential links in the chain, unwitting or otherwise. Corbin's role, in the wake of the initial arrests, was to untangle the human element. The DEA, the Australian Federal Police, naval intelligence, they had the satellite data, the port surveillance, the intercepted communications. But data points and digital footprints rarely told the full story. They missed the whispers in dimly lit bars, the furtive exchanges in bustling dockyards, the silent pacts made under the cloak of night. The submarines were the visible tip of an iceberg, and Corbin's task was to probe the submerged mass, to find the architects, the financiers, the kingpins who orchestrated this invisible war. The irony wasn't lost on him. To combat a threat that lived in the deep, he had to descend into the murky depths of human motivation, greed, and betrayal. This was more than a drug bust, it was a chilling testament to the evolving tactics of organized crime. It exposed a vulnerability in global commerce, a chasm in maritime security that had been ruthlessly exploited. Operation Underwood, the triumph lauded in the media, was, for Corbin, the beginning of a descent into a world where the lines between legitimacy and criminality blurred, where advanced technology served the oldest of sins. He had to understand the psychology behind such elaborate schemes, the risks taken, the moral compromises made. The sea, vast and unpredictable, was the stage, but the true drama was unfolding within the human hearts that dared to navigate its treacherous currents, driven by a hunger that no amount of seized cocaine could ever truly satisfy. His journey would take him from the sterile environments of intelligence briefings to the salt-crusted realities of coastal communities, piecing together a puzzle that threatened to swallow justice whole. The answers, he suspected, would not be found in the ocean's depths, but in the shadowed corners of human ambition. The digital breadcrumbs, meticulously collected by the Joint Task Force, painted a fascinating, if incomplete, picture of the network's operational infrastructure. Beyond the satellite tracking of the submersible vessels, analysts had painstakingly mapped the logistical chain that supported their perilous voyages. This involved not merely the construction of the submarines themselves, but the clandestine resupply points, the communication nodes, and the financial conduits that fueled the entire enterprise. Each submarine, a marvel of improvised engineering designed to withstand immense pressure and evade detection, required specialized components that were not readily available on the open market. The procurement of high-grade fiberglass, advanced navigation systems, and potent, reliable engines pointed towards a sophisticated procurement network, likely involving shell corporations and seemingly legitimate import businesses that acted as fronts for acquiring these vital, yet illicit, materials. Corbin's focus now sharpened on these seemingly mundane commercial activities, recognizing them as the bedrock upon which the entire operation was built. Furthermore, the problem extended to the human element within the operational teams themselves. While the larger cartel figures remained elusive, the groundwork for apprehending mid-level operatives was being laid. These individuals were not the hardened kingpins, but skilled technicians, ex-military personnel with maritime expertise, and even individuals with a background in engineering and naval architecture. They possessed the specific knowledge to assemble, maintain, and pilot these submersible craft. Their recruitment, Corbin surmised, likely involved a combination of significant financial incentives and, in some cases, subtle coercion, leveraging past indiscretions or exploiting existing vulnerabilities. Now, consider how this applies when you face the task of interviewing such individuals. Their expertise makes them valuable, but also potentially dangerous, prone to offering technical explanations that obscure their true involvement or even deliberately mislead investigators. Consequently, the investigation had to pivot towards understanding these specialized skill sets. Intelligence reports detailed how the submarines were tested in remote Colombian coves, their seaworthiness and stealth capabilities rigorously assessed before embarking on their intercontinental journeys. This pre-deployment phase was critical, involving intricate calibrations of sonar evasion systems and deep-sea navigation protocols. The meticulous nature of these preparations underscored the cartel's commitment to minimizing risk, a testament to the immense profits at stake. The sheer scale of investment in research and development for these underwater conveyances was a stark indicator of their perceived long-term viability as a primary trafficking method. Conversely, the challenge lay in distinguishing between genuine technical expertise and active participation in the criminal conspiracy. An engineer who designed a specialized pump for a submarine might be unaware of its ultimate purpose, or they might be fully complicit. This ambiguity demanded a nuanced approach to interrogation and evidence gathering. Corbin's team was delving into the financial records of individuals with relevant technical backgrounds, looking for unexplained wealth or suspicious transactions that could link them directly to the cartel's operations. The goal was to move beyond the tangible evidence of the submarines themselves and into the realm of intent and complicity, a far more complex and ethically charged aspect of the investigation. Another crucial layer involved the communications infrastructure. While overt signals were likely minimized, clandestine communication methods were essential for coordinating departures, transfers, and avoiding interdiction. This suggested the use of encrypted messaging platforms, burner phones with untraceable SIM cards, and possibly even prearranged dead drops or coded signals broadcast through seemingly innocuous channels. The cartel's operational security was paramount, and disrupting these communication lines was seen as a key strategy to unraveling their command and control structure, and ultimately, to dismantling the organization from within. Now, consider how this applies when you face a suspect who claims ignorance, without the ability to trace their communications. Proving intent becomes exponentially more difficult. As the shadows lengthen across the vast, indifferent canvas of the Pacific, a clearer, though no less unsettling, picture begins to coalesce. The elaborate dance of clandestine technology, the intricate web of human complicity, and the sheer, unyielding logistical prowess required to traverse continents beneath the waves, these elements, once disparate fragments, now interlock with a disquieting precision. The very ingenuity that once inspired awe now serves as a stark reminder of the adaptable, insatiable nature of the illicit economy. It's as if the ocean itself has become a labyrinth, its depths a silent accomplice to a trade that thrives in the unseen, the unheard, the unacknowledged. Reflecting on this journey so far, we witness not merely a chain of illicit transactions, but a complex, almost organic system that has learned to breathe in the very spaces where visibility is meant to prevail. the evolution of such methods suggests a profound understanding of counterintelligence, a sophisticated foresight that anticipates and circumvents traditional enforcement paradigms. It's akin to watching a meticulously constructed ecosystem, where each component, from the smallest organism to the grandest structure, plays a vital role in the survival and propagation of the whole. The silent glide of a handcrafted submersible is not an isolated act of defiance, but the culmination of myriad unseen efforts, a testament to a grand, if grim, design. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, though no less fraught with challenge. The sheer scale of the operation, its reach and its resilience, underscores a fundamental truth: the fight against such pervasive criminality demands more than mere reactive measures. It necessitates a deeper comprehension of the forces that drive such innovation, the human factors that underpin technological advancements employed for destructive ends. The convergence of these complex threads, the technological mastery, the strategic recruitment, the sophisticated operational planning, presents a formidable adversary, one that continues to test the very boundaries of global cooperation and resolve. As we pivot towards the final reflection, the implications of this ongoing struggle resonate with a potent urgency. The challenges encountered are not merely logistical or technological, they delve into the very fabric of human behavior and societal vulnerabilities, demanding a holistic approach to understanding and ultimately, to overcoming such pervasive threats to global security and well-being. The silent pursuit through the Pacific's vast, unforgiving expanse, a narrative arc spanning continents and weaving through the intricate tapestry of clandestine operations, has revealed a disquieting truth about the modern face of illicit trade. Operation Underwood, once a headline-grabbing success, now stands as a potent symbol of a far more complex, evolving threat. The handcrafted submarines, gliding beneath the waves like phantom leviathans, represent not merely an audacious method of smuggling, but a profound adaptation, a chilling testament to the resourcefulness and relentless drive of those who profit from destabilization. This is not an isolated phenomenon, it is a paradigm shift, a stark illustration of how criminal enterprises, much like nature itself, adapt, innovate, and exploit every available niche to thrive. The sophistication on display, from the thermal-resistant paints designed to evade detection to the intricate procurement networks supplying specialized components, speaks volumes about the depth of organization and the considerable financial investment fueling these operations. It moves beyond the realm of simple piracy or opportunistic smuggling into an era of highly specialized, technologically advanced illicit enterprises. The human element, too, is far from incidental. The recruitment of individuals with precise skills, the subtle exploitation of vulnerabilities, and the sheer audacity required to coordinate such complex, transoceanic endeavors underscore a calculated strategy that leverages both cutting-edge technology and an intimate understanding of human susceptibility. The ocean, in this context, transforms from a natural barrier into a carefully navigated theater of operations, its depths concealing not just contraband, but the ingenuity and dark ambition that drive its movement. This intricate dance between advanced technology and deeply embedded human networks highlights the pervasive challenge of combating globalized criminal enterprises. The lines between legitimate commerce and illicit operations become blurred, making attribution and disruption exponentially more difficult. It underscores that the struggle is not merely about intercepting shipments or apprehending street-level operatives. It is about dismantling the sophisticated infrastructure, the financial architecture, and the human scaffolding that supports these operations. The success of any future counter-efforts hinges on a comprehensive understanding of this multifaceted approach, moving beyond reactive interdictions to proactive disruption of the entire logistical and operational ecosystem. The enduring legacy of Underwood is not merely the quantity of drugs seized or the number of arrests made, but the profound insight it offers into the evolving nature of organized crime. It forces a recognition that the battleground is no longer confined to traditional territories or predictable methods. It is a global, fluid, and technologically driven contest that demands constant vigilance, international cooperation, and an unwavering commitment to understanding the human motivations that fuel such audacious enterprises. The true practice of combating these threats begins now, not with a singular victory, but with the sustained, informed, and collaborative effort to dismantle the shadows, one carefully navigated wave at a time.